Closed captioning for The Casey Malone Show is sponsored by Hunter Stevens Land Title Agency. Integrity, service, and commitment you can trust.
Oh, yeah. Casey Malone is serving up local. It's time for the stories of our region, the tastes, the sights, the sounds, and the people in and around the valley. Get ready for some local flavor on The Casey Malone Show.
Today we enjoy the seasonal flowers in the valley. We visit Tara Fodor at Farmhouse Blooms and Eric at the Youngstown Botanical Garden. But first, a light and easy dish, frittata with broccoli.
You better come on in my kitchen.
Today I am making a really easy, versatile dish, a frittata with broccoli. But you can use it with any vegetable, any meat you have in the fridge. And it's really easy for breakfast. It's really nice if you're entertaining for brunch. And it's really nice for a light meal at dinner. And this has a little bit of an Italian bend. I'm gonna use some crushed red pepper. I'm gonna use some garlic and some Parmesan cheese. But easy dinner, lunch, breakfast, it'll be on the table in about 20 minutes. So let's go over the recipe and the ingredients and we will make my frittata with broccoli. For this recipe, you'll need 2 garlic cloves sliced, 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, 1 head of broccoli cut into florets, 1/4 teaspoon of crushed red pepper, 2 tablespoons of water, 8 large eggs, 1/2 teaspoon of white pepper, 1/2 cup of grated Parmesan cheese, and salt and pepper. Well, before we get started, preheat your oven to 350 degrees because we're gonna start this in the skillet, but then this 10-inch skillet will be going in the oven for the final cooking part. So I've have this over medium heat and I'm going to add the garlic. And all we're gonna do is let this cook up and shimmer for a little bit. We're just gonna soften it for about 1 or 2 minutes. So now we are going to add the broccoli. Alrighty, and we are going to add the red pepper. If, again, you don't like the heat, you know, you don't have to add the red pepper, but I think it goes nicely with the garlic and the broccoli. So we're trying to mix this through a little bit. And now what we're gonna need to do, because we're gonna want this a little crisp tender, I'm going to add those 2 tablespoons of water to the pan. And all that's gonna do is help to steam this. I'm gonna put a lid on it and keep it on medium heat. And about 2 or 3 minutes, we're gonna check it. And when it's nice and tender, we are going to pull it off the stove. Oh, this looks perfect. It's been about 3 minutes. You don't want it to get mushy because you are gonna be putting this back in the oven again, right? And now's a good time to add just a little bit of salt and pepper to add some more flavor to the broccoli. So I'm just gonna mix this over, nice, all right. Stir it a little more, but it's really a pretty green and this has the perfect texture. So I'm just gonna transfer this right back into the bowl and let it cool. All right, so now we're going to assemble everything. I have 8 eggs. I'm going to add the white pepper, which adds just a nice little warmth to this recipe, the salt, and the pepper. Okay, and now we are going to beat these eggs, whisk these eggs like we really mean it. Because we want them to be light and fluffy, and they've got to be a good vehicle to hold all these wonderful vegetables that we just cooked. Okay, so now that that's done, I am going to now add the broccoli back in. Excuse me there. All right. Look at the garlic and the red pepper. It's gonna be a lot here. Broccoli and every bite. So now we go back to the stove and the skillet. I added another tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, swirled it around over medium heat. Now what we're gonna do is just put this in the pan, spread out the garlic. There we go. And the broccoli. Now we are gonna let this cook for about 3 or 4 minutes. We want this to set, and you'll see the edges get nice and firm and start to kind of pull away from the sides. So you see how the edges have set nicely and they're cooking? Now we are going to add our 1/2 cup of fresh shredded Parmesan. And we are going to stick this in the oven on the bottom rack for about 12 to 15 minutes. We'll take an eye, check it out at 12. All right, so here we go. Fresh out of the oven. It's beautiful. Let it rest for a couple minutes before we put it on the plate and get it ready to serve. And let's see how we did. Oh, look at it. Oh, the cheese. I love it. I'm telling you, you're gonna love this stuff. It's really delicious. And if you don't like broccoli, substitute spinach, whatever you want. You see how easy it is. And it's just a wonderful, easy dish, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And the perfect accompaniment for this nice light dish, nice light rosé, maybe even a mimosa. This one is a great find. Axel de Vignay, it is a white Bordeaux, but it's actually a rosé Bordeaux. Very reasonably priced, and look at just a pretty light pink color. Go to my website, look for frittata with broccoli. The recipe is there, and I'm telling you, you saw how easy it is, and you will be making this a lot. Cheers.
We'll be right back with more local flavor.
Kamara Jewelers is the place to buy an engagement ring because we want a relationship with you that lasts a lifetime. Your commitment with her is the same commitment we have to you.
We want to sit down with you and teach you about diamonds so you're educated on what you're buying. We have the largest selection we ever have, which is the largest in the area, and at the best value. And if it's not something in our case, we could always custom make it. We can make any dream come true.
Get real, get Kamara.
Rulli Brothers has a great choice of quality cheeses. We use our relationship with Old Road Houses to specially select the product and then have it custom cut and packaged by our own local artisans. At Rulli Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
Join the Isle and Purple Cat family. Employment opportunities are available. Given is living. Join the Isle and Purple Cat family. Employment opportunities are available at $13 an hour. Given is living.
To own a business where your name's on the window can be pretty cool. That's my family. My name is Danny Catullo, and I'm the owner of Catullo Prime Meats. My grandfather started the business in 1962. I was able to take our old-style butcher shop and bring it out to the new age using e-commerce to get our products to more customers. When we started shipping, there was not a ton of information out there. That's where we really worked with FedEx so they could be able to help us with our perishable shipping. We were taking on new purchases that we never had to make before. Boxes, coolers, ice packs, anything that was involved around shipping. So we can no longer do this with the cash that we had on hand. So because of the Plum Card from American Express and all of its benefits, it was a natural fit to help grow our business. And when someone calls and lets you know that you made their dinner, that's satisfaction that you can't get anywhere else.
I'm Elizabeth Bernard. For For more than 30 years, I've provided our Valley with sound legal advice. My associate Jennifer Rigetti and I will be your legal representatives if you're involved in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident. Don't try to handle it yourself. We'll navigate the red tape of dealing with doctors, medical insurance, and all the obstacles that you'll face. Remember, there are no upfront fees on personal injury cases, and hiring a lawyer does not mean you have to go to court.
Call attorney Elizabeth Bernard, local legal experience for more than 30 years.
They fell in love with Benjamin Moore's Van Dusen Blue, but tried to match it using another brand's paint.
It'll grow on us, right?
Yeah.
Well, this is Tara Fodor, and I'm here in the design studio for Farmhouse Blooms. And 11 years ago, you moved to Poland.
Yes.
You married John Fodor.
I did.
And you start a flower business.
I did, yeah.
And it's all the wild flowers. And wait till we give you the tour. Everything in this workshop right now, in the studio, is grown by you.
Absolutely. And my team.
And it started with the sunflower.
It did, yes. 10 years ago.
Tell me about your adventure here.
Yeah, so 10 years ago, I was looking for an opportunity to do something with the farm. We have the land, the resources, and I read an article about a flower farm, or not a flower farm, a farm that turned their cover crop into a cash crop, and he was growing single stem pollen sunflowers. So I thought, let me see if I can grow some sunflowers and sell them as a cut flower. And it just kind of evolved from there. We joined a national association for the specially cut flower growers, and it just escalated. We have high tunnels now, we have a full field, a walk-in cooler.
So on the other side, you have Tara Fodor Designs, which does, the weddings and the higher end events.
Yes.
And then here, you could still buy bouquets, you do workshops, how do you deal with, because you have a lot of flowers.
Right, so we do workshops, we do a subscription bouquets, so people can sign up and get their monthly or bi-monthly bouquets from us here. We sell at some retail outlets. We have our flower stand, which is called our flower coop that we sell from here. We sell wholesale. We sell to do-it-yourself brides, bulk blooms, if they want to do it themselves. Yeah, a lot of different. Our product moves around quite a bit.
What are your favorites? When we're looking, like, these are just.
So it's September. So we're into dahlia season. Amaranthus.
Those are beautiful.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different varieties of amaranthus. We have a coral fountain. We have a green cascades.
Do you
the ones that did
use the same beds, or is it like when you garden, you try to change the soil and keep moving?
Yeah, so we try to rotate crops, and then we also compost every time before we plant. But yeah, we try to rotate, even like we have 3 hoop houses, so we try to rotate within those hoop houses what we're growing.
So this whole garden is all dahlias?
Yes, one of the locations for dahlias.
And I love this beautiful red color. Now, do you get everything's from seed?
So dahlias grow from like tubers or corms, or tubers. And so we plant those in the spring, and then in the fall you have to actually, once we get fall, winter, once we get a frost, we actually have to dig them up. Any tubers that we want to save for next year, you have to dig them up. So
that's intense.
It's an intense process because we also, you know that we do the Christmas tree season, so
you need the break, but you don't get the break.
Right.
So these, now if you notice, I called it a grid, but you call this netting.
Yes, it's
because they're so heavy.
Yes, it's the port netting. Portanova netting that we put out just because they're wind, rain, they need the support for sure.
When you invite people into your garden and you allow them to cut their own, is that what it's called, cut your own?
Yes, cut your own.
CYO?
Or just cut your own.
I'm sure you're a little bit hesitant because, can people hack up your plants?
Yeah, they can, but like zinnias, the harder you cut, the harder they push up. So we actually haven't been cutting a lot of zinnias, so they need to be cut. So
they need to
I
go.
always say just cut low.
So
don't be afraid.
How low would I go here?
So ideally you would want to cut here because here you have 2 fresh shoots coming out. So, but you could go lower and it'll just keep pushing out There
don't
are
want the
some
flowers to go to waste.
Right, and there are some really strong dahlia lovers, and usually at the end of the season, if I know a frost is coming, I'm like, okay, let's do a U-pick and they'll come and get the dahlias, come and get other product, and they love it. But this year we did one in the middle of the season, and it was fine. I did reservation only, so it was a certain number of people, and it was fine. So I'll probably do more U-pick events in the future.
So with the flowers that you plant, are there also like heirloom seeds where you were trying to get, older flowers and, specialty ones like people do with tomatoes?
Yeah, there definitely are. And there are different, especially with dahlias, there's different varieties that you try to source and then they sell out quickly. And we share a lot of seeds with other flower farmers that they have success with, and
So if you follow Tara on Instagram or on Facebook, they have the flower coop. See, look, and it's self-service. You come in and you have bouquets and just what's in season, right?
Yeah, exactly. So whatever we have and what's fresh, we'll post it on Instagram or Facebook, and we'll have the open flower coop day, and it'll just be self-serve. Come in, get your dahlia bunch, your sunflower bunch, mixed bouquet.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Self-serve and
Venmo, cash check, and right here, and it's on the honored system. So don't, if you're jonesing for something, this makes it really easy to pick up.
Oh yeah, for sure. We put our signs out front, so if you're driving by, the sign is there, and you see the open coop, and
you've had to really develop such a community relationship in moving here, because who doesn't love flowers?
Right.
And I'm sure your world keeps expanding.
Yes.
And your friendships.
Yes, yeah, for sure. It definitely has been, and I think that's probably my favorite part, is because I've built so many connections through flowers. I've now have great friends that showed up one day because they liked flowers, and they're still here, and so it's been really cool in that regard.
The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor. I am here at the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery with Rude the Dude. Summertime is here.
Yes, finally it's here. Right here we got a few of our handcrafted summer cocktails for you that you can enjoy on our beautiful patio that is now finally open. Every day, open to close. We also now have live entertainment every Friday from 8 to 11 on the patio. If it rains outside, we bring the bands inside.
That's right. They've got you covered. And don't forget, if you have an event coming up like a baby shower, bridal shower, or rehearsal dinner, the room is available. Call and book your date now. And I really love the food truck.
Yes.
They come to you.
Yes, we now have Magic Tree on the go, as you can see in our background. So take a look for us. We'll be around town, different locations, sharing some of our Magic Tree specials with you on the road.
That's right. Magic Tree Pub and Eatery has you covered.
Hit the road in the all-new 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander from Boardman Mitsubishi. Drive one today starting at $26,995. Plus, get the confidence of an industry-leading 10-year warranty. The summer sales event at Boardman Mitsubishi. Going on now.
Donate now. GavaCamp has a generous family that will match every dollar you donate. Help us build a barrier-free educational camp for our friends with special needs. Visit our website or call for more details. Giving is living.
Rulli Brothers is way ahead of the competition. Check out Rulli Spice World, where you can buy bulk herbs and spices, plus candies, nuts, and fillings for pennies on the dollar. At Rulli Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
I'm all about local, and my bank is Farmers National Bank. Farmers is the true hometown bank in the Mahoning Valley, standing strong for our local families and businesses since 1887. Farmers is also future-focused with a lab branch, interactive teller machines, and best-in-class mobile mortgage app. We've all learned the value of local relationships, businesses, and communities. Switch to Farmers.
Is it time to update your color style? R&S Paint will assist you with your choice of over 3,400 Benjamin Moore colors. Vibrant, durable, and easy to apply. Be current, be stylish. Shop R&S Paint.
Well, this is Eric Jones, and he and his father, Ronnie, started the Youngstown Botanical Garden. And if you've driven down Indianola Road, you have seen the gorgeous gardens. And they're also taking over this building, which was a doctor's office. It's been a few things, but you've got it down to the bone.
Yes.
And you have big plans for this place.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So this, you're seeing more of like a community center.
Correct. This here will be where we use, like for instance, we're standing in the red room, okay? And the red room, okay? So you have to picture it red. But this room will be used like other rooms to facilitate parties, birthday parties, activities that we host.
Why are you and your dad, what was the impetus that made this all happen?
I started as a caseworker, and this was one of the places I would come before we did anything breaking ground. And I would come here just kind of on my lunch break as a social worker. So I just kind of came here to decompress. And I looked and saw the opportunity for the land. We didn't actually own the land at the time, but we started acquiring the lots, and we said, here is where we want to build this wonderful garden. And it's really for anyone to use, young or old. There's so many different therapeutic benefits to just walking around and seeing the flowers and engaging in nature. It's amazing.
So this is the bird's eye view,
right,
of the entire botanical garden.
Right.
How large is this plot? What is this, about 2 acres?
This is just a little under an acre.
So, but the ground cover, I mean, this is beautiful. Your ivy and that, I mean, isn't that more what you want?
Right.
Instead of mulch and stuff. I mean,
Absolutely.
that would be
ideal.
A more ideal thing.
Right.
Is that hard to grow?
No, that isn't. And it's just, that started with a few plants. I believe that we may have purchased a flat of ivy, and that's what we may do. Purchase a flat, put it in a location, and just let it run.
Nicely. Look
Absolutely.
at how it goes up the tree. I mean, it's gorgeous. This is a very peaceful area to sit.
And this is all your time.
Oh, wow.
So it's kind of, when I told my son, I said, this is his little think space. And he comes out and he sits here.
This is all time.
That's all time. So if you stand over in that section there where the tulips are, oh yeah, it's very fragrant.
I love time.
Oh my goodness, it's just gorgeous.
It's gorgeous.
So I told him, I said, this here,
look at it,
is where you come out and you picture your goals. Because if you picture your goals and you stand in this spot here, what are you doing? You're looking out over time.
How many people do you get just randomly stopping and enjoying this?
Oh,
it must happen every day when you're out here.
We get quite a bit, and it really takes place. But it's really a blessing. I'll stop, and because they actually took the time to stop. I mean, we've had so many people that have stopped by, and they have all been a blessing. They've all added that positive energy, that positive seed, that positive just watering. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Cultivate, seed, water, weed.
And then you've recently gotten your 501c3 status.
Correct.
So that is huge.
That's
you know, because of the education and because of everything that you're going to be providing.
Right.
I mean, I can see that, you know, you definitely have earned, you know, the nonprofit status.
Well, it's one of the missions for the outside, which was actually when we were inside and we talked about the cultivating, the seeding and the water weeding. Outside here, we look at it, we approach it from educate, motivate, congratulate, and celebrate. So in that, right, I got all these fours.
Boy, I've got to tell you, you have really thought of everything. Now, Ronnie Jones is Eric's dad, and he and Eric created this oasis, but you are also the chef. I mean, what have we got here? Look at this spread.
All right. We got some shish kebabs.
Yeah.
Which is just peppers and onions and like 3 or 4 different peppers.
Yeah.
Red onions, white onions, chicken steak, and
then you did
scallops.
the lambs. Oh my God.
Chicken steak and scallops, and then we did some lamb burgers. I think there's some burgers.
Wow. Who else is coming?
Just us.
So,
and we got a salad.
Oh man. Well, Bill, you better put on the feedback, dude. Get ready to eat.
The Casey Malone Show is sponsored in part by Denise and John York and the DeBartolo Corporation.